Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. This is actually take two because despite having turned off notifications on my phone, my husband called me just now. The phone didn't ring, mind you, but I heard a little beep, and of course, it had stopped the video. So I don't know what in the world is going on there. Anyway, luckily I was just a minute or two in. What I started saying was that when I was looking for something the other day, I came across this big bag with all of these art prints and lithographs and things that I have been saving for the last number of years. I don't think this is all of the ones I have, but this is definitely the bunch that I have been putting together in a bag, sort of delaying making a decision on. I just knew that these things, or I believe that these things had potential in journal making. And I thought, today maybe is the day to go through this and decide, have I been wasting my time and delaying the inevitable where they need to move on someplace else? Or can I start using this stuff? So this first bunch, this is nice heavy paper. I did measure, but of course forgot already. 8 by 9.5, so easily signature pages. Not that the plants matter to you, but bunchberry, wild strawberry, high bush cranberry, which is kind of significant around here. It is kind of an indigenous plant, and Ukrainians call it kalana, and it's sort of, that name has been adopted by businesses and a tourism zone, actually. Butte primrose and prairie crocus. So obviously these should be used. So it's a matter of, biting the bullet. No idea where they came from. There's no, well, I guess I thought I saw an artist. Oh yeah, 1978. Now, is that the only one with a signature? Oh, well, you can tell that the style is the same. So yeah, same person. So clearly these cannot be scanned. So it's time to bite the bullet and use them rather than hoard them any longer. This is a lithograph, and I am positive that that I got a whole bunch of them. Not entirely sure. I can't remember if it was an auction purchase or what, but it seems to me there was a whole whack of them. It's a covered bridge. It says 1984, and for a while there, I was putting them in Happy Mail, so some of you may even have one of these. Definitely, these should be used as a signature. 9 by 11, so there's enough margin there to trim off and use quite easily. Okay, this. So, look at that. I sprung 75 cents for this thing. Holy cow, somebody called Hazel Gatford. This is her art. Oh, yeah. Wild daffodil. Anyway, so with a smidge of trimming top and bottom, this would fit in a tall skinny, and I think that's probably the best use for it. And I apologize. I imagine this cellophane and plastic is creating some glare. I was just in the process of wanting to open, oh, here's another one of those. In the process of wanting to open this up to see if it's an original. Nice bag to reuse. So it's 2001. I'd say it's a print. There is a teensy-weensy little, yeah, definitely a print. So, oh, has it been dry? Has it been dry mounted onto this? Oh no, it's just taped. Okay, so it's easy enough to remove that. I love these colors. Well, I guess the main thing is either frame it and hang it up as if I had a spare piece of wall, or use it. It is perfect as it is, so, and I probably, what is the overall size? 13 by 11 by 13. I might even have a frame that size. Who knows? You know, frames are typically a dime a dozen at thrift stores. Okay, what's in here? Oh. So it looks like this might have been, okay, so these look like woodcuts. 8 of 15. 8 of 15. So it's on some sort of handmade paper. Okay, so we've got a sun, 3, I'd say peasant ladies, a wolf or a coyote howling at the moon, a horse, or maybe 2 horses, and some tree branches. These are very dramatic looking. So clearly I like some of these more than others, so that too should be used. So looks like I got many in the used pile. 1992 map of Maui. Now, I've never been to Hawaii, have no desire to go to Hawaii. Original price was $19. Cartographer's notes. Let me just open this up and see how easy it would be to separate it from its mat. And oh my goodness, triple mat. Oh, they use some kind of gooey stuff in between to hold this all together. Oh, there it is. Oh, double-sided tape, I guess. Oh, okay, that could be a signature page because I have no sentimental value for that whatsoever. It was one of those inclusionary kind of things. And in fact, maybe this should stay with it and be, you know, kind of I better take this off before it sticks to something and causes a problem. This does not appear to be archival or acid-free tape. Okay, so we'll keep those 2 guys together. And more mats. Whoops. More maps, more cellophane. I mean, more mats. More cellophane. Oh, what is this one? Don't recall this at all. Well, let me take them all out of here. Okay. I mean, that's pretty enough. Not frame-worthy, but so clover, crocuses, and I don't know what that is. Oops, sorry. Oh, and sweet peas. Let me pull out a ruler because, you know, this is definitely a case where size matters. Whoops, I'll need more than 6 inches. Okay. So to keep the design intact, oh, that's not bad, 8.5 could work. Yes, sirree, these will be trimmed down. Is it the same on this one? Yeah, 2 more signatures. Oh, Asian 1958. Huh. Don't recall this either. Probably the best bet here. Fussy cut around the, or well, let me measure. Okay, if I went to the top and did 8, or went down, say, a bit. So if we cut it off there, that would be a pretty nice signature as well. And it is, I mean, width is obviously, there's more room to play around with width than there is height. And what would we have left? And then the bottom half could be used as well as a small bit of art. I can feel the paint on there, so it's definitely an original. Oh, that's a tear? Yes, sir. I would try to let's not do it on camera. I would attempt to push this side down because it's that torn edge that is drawing one's attention there. Okay. What do we have here? Obviously, Venice. Oh, this person died in 2014. Rather nice paper. This could, there's a little bit of a bevel here. This could just easily become a journal card. I have been to Italy, not to Venice in particular, but lovely. Oh, honestly, I don't remember having all this. This is print. Nothing much to show here other than it's over 12 inches tall and 9 1/4. That's quite lovely. Those blue cornflowers. Have to ponder that one. Okay, what do we have here? I guess that's a leopard. Is that a... I hope it's not mounted in this cardboard. Anyway, it's 3,979 out of 4,000. Oh, it's just masking tape to this cardboard. So, yeah, I would say this guy's a signature page. Okay. Oh, I remember getting, this is a whole whack off. I think this is from the government. Whoops, what's this? I cut up a whole bunch of mat board yesterday. It was a real workout for my Fisker's bypass cutter, but I was able to do it. I guess this one got missed. And it is, that's what I use for wrapping ribbon or lace around. Okay, so these must have been disposed of by the Alberta government, Alberta Health Services. So, inspirational stuff to maybe send to health units or whatever. Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go, merely determine where you start. Nito Cobain. So, if a person, to just bypass that guy's signature is 7 3/8. So this could be in a farm journal, for sure. And then you just, obviously pick the best. I have shown this in the past, but I will just remind you that it never hurts to have a couple of sort of handmade viewfinders. If you're trying to figure out a focal point or what to crop or where to crop it. These are kind of the wrong size. Used to have the whole set, well, actually 2 sets, when we had our framing shop, but I don't know if they're still kicking around somewhere. Okay, being brave isn't the absence of fear, less usable. Here's a good farm. Do you see that little person, that dog? This is the Badlands. This could be quite lovely. That could be, this part of it could be folded vertically and become a tall, skinny. Yeah, I think I have. Once this video's over, I will chop these up. Because they're never going to get used if they're, forgotten in a closet. This wants to all go slip sliding. Let me figure out a better place to put it. And I guess the ones that don't lend, that don't lend themselves to reusing in some way could probably just become like a drop sheet, or I want a Siberian large. Those are those evergreens that don't stay evergreen. The needles they're not really needles, but they look like needles. They turn yellow and fall off. Landscape. View from space? What is this? A footprint? Oh, rubber boots. An Inukshuk. Boy, there's so many of these. Look at that leaf. That would be a good one for my Canada. Is it a maple? Yes, it is. Oh, Pinky. I have a Petty Point Pinky and Blue Boy. Paid $1, baby. Maybe. Okay, she can probably be... she's taller than a tall skinny. I don't know. I need to think about that one. Another piece of mat board. Oh, this was something that I really liked because it reminded me of Mexican resorts. And we've had some good holidays in places like that. Now, is this right? I think I know what this was. This must have been dry mounted by somebody who had it framed, and there was a gooey, say that 5 times fast, edge around that I ended up cutting off because it was sticking to everything. It almost seems like maybe this would be better off just chopped up because there's some depth there. Chop it up and turn it into journal covers, and then of course just cover it. So I think that's the remedy for that one. Oh, I was wondering where I stuck these. These are like, it was during a live sale with Angela and Carol that I had a bunch of these 1960 wallpaper murals for sale. And they sold really well, and I hope the people who bought them used them. I should put these dogs with my dog pouch. Anyway, the paper is lovely. Put these two guys with the dogs. And it seems to me that I should just, use them. Again, with some strategic trimming, I could probably get 2 signature pages out of each one. One of my favorites. I thought I saw that somewhere. Were the trees. But I don't know that I have another tree journal in me. Anyway, I'm sure you don't really care about that. So yeah, this will also need to be cut up into signature pages. Okay, you know what? In another place, look at that yellowing from tape. I bid on and was successful in getting architectural drawings. Now this one isn't signed, but this was obviously part of it. It's sort of almost like on tracing paper. And again, it's a matter of deciding how to cut it so that it could be, so the design could be maximized. So again, I'm going to need, this will take a bit of time. Pretend that it was the right height. That could be a signature page, and so could that. Or because the paper is so thin, do a fold, and then that might be even better. Okay, I don't recall getting this. To hold a horse, you need a bridle. To hold a woman, you need a heart. Mother, Act 1. The Clay Cart, Shudraka, Ashland, 2008. Well, this is quite lovely. No, I have no way of it on. It feels like the paint, this feels like an original. So maybe, with a bit of trimming, that becomes a card. I don't know. Probably get 3 pieces out of this. $6.95 Tudor Guild Clay Art Mini poster. Whatever. It's got a little bit of heft to it, so this part here could almost become a journal cover too. It's just lovely. I can see why I was drawn to it. Oh, I remember this. This is an original watercolor, 1981. And, okay, what is the size? 20, this is just a piece of mat board. Colors kind of throwing things off. 20 by 13. Now, I remember showing this when I thrifted it, and somebody said, oh, seal it with a spray sealant to keep the watercolor from lifting. it would be rather difficult, I think. These corners aren't big enough. Okay, between these two edges is 10 inches. So theoretically, I guess it could make signature pages in a tall skinny. A person just needs to decide. I guess part of the foreground would be lost because the more interesting parts are and this could afford to be, oh no, it can only afford to be 8.5 wide. So if you can envision this, well, actually more like this. I don't even know if this is on screen, to be honest. Okay, so this is 11, roughly 11 inches. Whoops. This is 8.5. So, I mean, that would be fairly interesting. Okay, and I know that I definitely have in my outbuilding, in my portable classroom, I know that I have a set of architectural drawers. You know, the metal filing cabinets that have very shallow drawers, but they're big enough to accommodate a sheet of, full sheet of watercolor paper. Plus, I know I have some vintage prints in there. That's in another building, though. So I've got my hands full with what I have here. But I guess, I don't recall what I paid for any of these things other than the 75 cents. So it seems that a person kind of needs to, just deal with them. These windows are too high. That doesn't look right. Anyway, I just make journaling cards. I don't know. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed looking at this very terribly, terribly interesting video. And, maybe some of what I've said here gives you the permission to, when you see some of this kind of stuff, and it's priced well, take a chance on it, because you either are buying some original and or print art for your own decor purposes. And quite often, especially if it's art on canvas or art on board, sometimes people aren't even going through the expense of framing it. It's just a matter of, leaning it on a bookcase. I think that I will do what I've said and then show you. This is sticking to my arm. And then show you the results in a follow-up Friday video, because that will give you, then you'll see that I've actually, bitten the bullet and done what I said I was going to, and, either folded them and have them all ready to go. And, yeah, it's a dog's life. You got to go for a drink after a hard day of snoozing. Anyway, guys, I hope that there has been some value in this for you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.